Little Miss Recap contains adult language. Little Miss Recap is intended for entertainment purposes only. Hi everyone, welcome to Little Miss Recap. My name's Amy.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
Hi Amanda.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. I mean, I just talked to you for an hour before this.
But the people didn't need to know that. We could have pretended this was just a fresh new day for us.
Guys, we are recording a little bit ahead of time because we're going to be in New York for our TLC party. We're very excited.
We're very, very excited.
We're going to be with our podcasting friends.
It's going to be like mini podcast camp.
Yes.
It's going to be one night of podcast camp.
Yes, I'm very excited. So
I'm pumped.
If you guys listen to Reality Roundup, we went through some evidence that is surfacing about Sean from Polyfamily.
Yes.
And I just want to be very clear. I don't feel comfortable, and Amanda doesn't feel comfortable that any of this is substantiated in a real way.
No.
So for that reason, you can get all of that on Reality Roundup, and we're not going to relitigate it here.
We're just going to say there's a lot of noise about this family right now. What is true, what is not true, all TBD. But it's messy. Whatever it is, it's messy, even if there's absolutely no foundation to the criminal stuff, but we've got people lobbing accusations back. That's just messy. It's just messy.
Yes. And the only thing that I can absolutely confirm is that Sean has other children. That is confirmed because there's court records of him being involved in child support hearings. Like nothing bad, but they're setting the child support. So we know that he's paying child support for somebody. Or he's not. We don't know. But he's been asked to pay child support for somebody.
Someone has made a request of him.
So, and he's not talking about these other children on the show, not even implying that he's a father.
No, he's acting like these kids that we see here are the first children ever to come into his world.
Yeah.
And if I were his kids from his previous life, I'd be real hurt by that.
Yeah, he's doing a Cody here.
He's doing
pulling a Cody a little bit.
A little bit.
So, all right, let's just jump right in, shall we?
Hit it.
Not a ton happens this episode. Now, let me ask you this. Instead of jumping right in, let's have this quick conversation.
Yes.
Are you enjoying this?
Sorta.
Because I texted you yesterday. I'm like, this is boring.
This episode was really boring. Am I enjoying this? Sorta. Sorta. Okay, because initially they had only shown that there would be 4 episodes. I mean, it's all this has been showing up on things. So I am now going on TLC's website. I am going to.
Are you falling for it now that TLC is actually going to show us?
Maybe. I don't know. Let's go Polyfamily.
Because what did we say? I had figured. I think I found up to episode 6, right?
On TLC's website is. Oh, that's some stupid ad for something. It's not even coming up. The TLC website is a problem.
Yeah, it's not coming up for me either. I'm getting a weird ad.
Yeah, once I click on see all episodes.
Yes.
It's weird, but we seem to only see 4 episodes thus far.
Okay. All right. I wonder if they will have these people back for another season. I can't imagine they will, right?
I don't think so.
But you know what? Other things have. You know what? If we see Matt Sharp, we should ask him, even though he doesn't know the show.
Right. He might know.
We should be like, hey, what's the scoop on Polyfamily?
Or is there any TLC? There'll be TLC people there.
Oh, yeah. We could do that. Okay, let me pull up my notes. This is Polyfamily Season 1, Episode 4, Oh My Quad.
These names are so stupid.
Nothing happened, so I don't know what you're oh my quadding about.
Yeah.
And I will say it's very warm here today, so I have my window ajar.
Yes.
So if you hear the birds and,
don't hear them at all.
Intermittent 81 traffic. Yeah.
Don't hear a thing.
So we're going to a local Santa event, and Tyler says he and Sean are working on their relationship, and they need to remember that they created this beautiful family together. And Sean on the couch says, I don't have a guarantee that Tyler will not take the kids from me. Very worried about this.
No, you're not. By the way, on IMDb, we're up to 6 episodes.
Okay. I hope that's all we get.
I kind of do.
So the rando they interview, because they always have to find one, says, again, guys, this is not Portland. I'm not saying that, but it's Portland adjacent. So they've seen these kind of things before. Well, I'm sure that people who live in this region of Oregon are familiar with untraditional
Maybe.
situations.
Where they live is very conservative.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Do they live in Eastern?
No, they live in central-ish Oregon, but it's a conservative area. People
Do you think they're just used to weirdos from Portland coming over?
It's distinctly possible, but it's not Portland liberal by any stretch of the imagination.
And I'm not saying that derogatory. Yeah. Portland's whole thing is keep weird. So
I love that about it.
I do too. Okay, so maybe you're right. Maybe these people are gonna be like, I gotta go get my shotgun.
Right. I don't know what's gonna happen here.
Because that's what happened here in my area.
Yeah.
So Sean has a Big Daddy Claus sweatshirt on. Okay. I have a question for you. Do any of these people work? Because we never see anybody coming and going to work.
No.
Maybe they just chose not to film that, but
I think they're choosing to stay far away from their careers.
Maybe. So he on the couch says, holidays looked very different. So he's with Taya. And he says, we went from a married couple with no kids.
Right.
Together to 5 kids. So he says together.
Yeah, but still.
So we went from a married couple with no kids together.
Mm-hmm. To 5. But
to 5
shouldn't
kids.
His children be involved in their life? Like,
you would think.
Todd and I don't have kids together, but I've never said we don't have a kid in our life because we do.
Correct.
He's in the room next door. I can verify that he exists. And he is a part of our family. Like, the way they talk about this is so fucking weird.
This is what I'm saying. Like, he's going out of his way to make it look like these are his only children.
Correct. And that's a problem.
And all he'd have to say, like, even if the mother said, do not fucking talk about these kids on it, all he has to say is, I have other children.
I have kids from a previous relationship.
That's it. Yep. So now we get a picture. Everybody's getting together to get a picture. And then Tyler is sitting down and chatting with that same rando about loving the kids. And this guy's like, I have 2 stepkids that I love as my own. I totally get it, man. And Tyler on the couch says he wishes their situation had some protections under the law like step parents do. So now we have some playtime with the kids, and Taya tells the camera, you know, when we were pregnant with the toddlers, we talked about legal protections for all 4 parents.
Right.
I think this is what's bothering me about the not showing the work and stuff like that. They're trying to make it seem like all they do is play with their kids.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, somebody needs to make dinner or something.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So, Tyler, she says, you know, we talked about this, and she brings up third-party adoption. I went down a rabbit hole with this.
Oh, boy.
What they want is third-parent adoption.
Right.
Third-party adoption, yes, somebody has to get kicked off.
Right.
So they talked about this, and Sean says, well, where do we go, okay, to talk about this? Amanda, where would you go? What's your first guess? You have legal questions about adopting your children.
Yes.
Where are you going to go?
Family attorney.
An attorney.
Yeah.
Alysia goes, should we go to an adoption agency?
No. Are you
should I go to Miss Hannigan's School for Girls and grab Annie? And Punky Brewster? Whoever that is.
Punky Brewster. Yeah, no, you're not looking for new children, Alysia. So you're not going to the adoption agency. You're going to the lawyer's office.
Yes,
Jesus,
yes.
These people are not the brightest bulbs on
the
street.
And Sean is kind of like, why would we go? Sean can't let it drop. Like, he just can't be like, okay, she looks like
know what she's talking about.
Whatever. He can't let it drop. He's got to be like, why would we go to an adoption agency?
Because he's a dickbag. He's
a total dickbag. So Taya says the birth mother and her spouse are on the birth certificate according to Oregon law. Okay. Gypsy Rose, Ron Anderson has a baby because of this.
Right. That's why Aurora was Aurora Anderson for about 5 months.
So she says one of her biggest fears would be being separated from the older 2 kids. They're real focused. Taya and Sean are real focused on these older kids.
I know.
And Taya says she believes a third person could be added to the birth certificate, and that person's partner would be the step parent. Tyler says it would be nice to not have an asterisk around, yes, I am the parent. Okay. I'm going to say something, and this is going to sound old-timey and old lady, and I'm sorry. Don't make any legal moves with these kids. Like, just don't. That all just makes me very nervous.
Me too.
giving up rights to your kids or taking parental rights from people is very difficult and should be.
Yes.
It's difficult for a reason.
Mhm.
And sometimes that sucks.
Yes.
But 90% of the time, that is a good protection to have as a parent.
Agreed.
Like, no one can come in here and take my kids. Trust me, I've tried. I've offered financial
willing to sell
incentive.
for the highest bidder.
Yes, but no.
Willing to pay someone to take them some days.
But again, we know people that has worked in the opposite way for.
Absolutely. In all seriousness. No,
not all parents deserve their rights. Let's put it that way.
Agreed.
But I just feel like, by all accounts, Tyler and Alysia have no issues and have no issues, but they seem to love their kids and be engaged with them.
I wouldn't mess with that.
So like, don't fuck with it. Just leave it how it is. And like you and I said, when they turn 18, if they want to kick Tyler off and put Sean on, but you saw their faces at the lawyers.
Yeah.
When this was good. So let me get there. Yeah. Okay. So Sean on the couch says he loves his kids more than anything in the world, Amanda.
Clearly.
Mm-hmm. The producer now asks who is most likely to get up and change the baby, and Taya says it depends on whose night it is. Sean will get right up and change the baby's diaper, and Tyler needs to be nudged. Yeah, because he's tired from pounding on you
all night. Sean is just very quiet and just sleeps a lot. Tyler, on the other hand, is very busy.
Sean is up playing Match Factory, still trying to pass that level.
Pay the $6, Sean. Get past the goddamn level.
So now they talk about going on solo dates. And it's so long since they've done this that they don't even remember last time they went out. And this is very Cody Brown, Sister Wives season 2.
Yeah.
And AKA the only time Cody took all 4 wives on a romantic date.
That we ever saw, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Taya says, I'm only 2 months postpartum. Like, I'm not really into this.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, whatever. There's a whole debate. This is something straight out of academia where we have to form a committee to decide who's on the committee to hire the person who will run the committee. Like, it's a whole thing.
It's also like a church too.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, we're going to have to like randomize how we pick out of a hat. Like it's
overkill.
Okay. Sean says, so Tyler wins and he picks Taya.
Of course he does.
And Sean says, I haven't been out with Taya in forever and I'm bummed. And then after Tyler picks Taya, I don't know if you caught this, but I get my screeners through the same person that Jake and Matt do and my screen went fuzzy.
Oh, yes.
Tyler threw the paper down and it said Alysia.
Oh, no. Poor Alysia. Poor Alysia. Poor girl. She's just over here being real insecure and jealous.
I know.
I feel for her.
So they make a joke about Tyler being real horned up, and Alysia tells the camera, I have found a really nice boundary here with information about Taya. I don't want to know who's fucking her, how they're fucking her, when they're fucking her, and how much they're fucking her.
Right. And there's a reason our bedrooms are on different levels of the house.
Yes.
Opposite corners.
I just don't want to know because part of my jealousy comes from the clear bond that Taya and Tyler have.
Yeah. They're real hot for each other.
So now they go to the attorney.
I'm hot for Tyler too. So
I'm not at all.
I am.
No. Mm-mm. He kind of looks like a count.
I was gonna say he looks like a little elf, except he's really tall.
So they go to attorney. The attorney's name is Raylina, but she goes by Ray. Thank God.
Thank God.
And they explain the situation to this lawyer, and she's like, I've had a lot of tradition. This is where I think I got that information because she goes, I've seen a lot of untraditional relationship structures, but never this kind of situation. So the lawyer says, well, do we know paternity? Like that might help in all of this. And Sean is like, no, not happening.
Nope. We'll never know it. Never, ever, 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 ever.
So
ever.
Ray says to do a third party adoption, one parent has to terminate their parental rights.
Yeah.
And Sean goes, so Tyler would have to terminate his rights to the older kids and I could adopt them. And Tyler's like, yeah, fuck no.
No. Tyler's like, it's fine if we want to add you in, but we're not subtracting me out.
Can I say something that just came up for me?
Sure.
I feel like I'm in therapy. Something just came up for me.
Okay.
Shouldn't what are the older kids' names? Raina and Dylan.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they have a say
I would
if
think
this
so.
is going to go down?
I would think so.
Imagine like your mother just switching who your mother is on your birth certificate.
I would not enjoy that.
No, and somebody needs to, Tyler and Alysia need to sit down with Raina away from Sean and say, would you be comfortable with us giving Sean some legal rights to you? And whatever her answer is, I don't know what her answer would be. But even then, I wouldn't trust the answer.
Because she's 9.
She's like 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
This just feels gross. Please don't do it. Don't do it.
They have a way too Pollyanna utopian view of this whole situation. And I think it's a lot more complex than they're giving it space for.
And I just want to add on to what I said before about do not alter this legal stuff. Obviously, that doesn't apply if your kid is in a bad situation.
Of course.
Of course. I shouldn't have to say it, but I'm saying it.
Yeah.
However, none of these kids seem to be in any kind of immediate acute danger.
Yep. Agreed.
Let's just leave it. So she says no judge is going to go ahead with putting all 4 of you on this birth certificate. You could appeal, but there's no legal basis. So essentially, you'd have to change the laws. Taya cries, and she says, anytime we run into these things, it's frustrating, and I wish it could just be easy.
And that's fair. The
next day, they're meeting with Taya's dad, who looks younger than me.
How are these parents looking younger every time we see them? I'm pretty sure her mom is going to look like baby New Year soon.
Jesus Christ.
What is happening here?
We meet her brother James, her sister Olivia. Her sister's 15 years younger than her. And Taya said, I worried that my dad wouldn't know how to tell her about our arrangement or blah, blah, blah. But my dad's been great. Taya's dad, James, says, at first I was skeptical, but she's 100% happy. So I have to support her. Now they tell him about the law situation. Little Miss Recap will return in a moment. For ad-free episodes, visit littlemissrecap.com/support.
Cool.
Okay. So I found this legal blog.
Okay.
It's from a site called Find Law. And this is written by Christopher Cobble, Esquire.
Okay.
And when can a child have more than 2 parents? So he goes through the whole thing. They go through the whole thing, whatever. But here's what he's talking about. So only a few states have recognized more than 2 parents for a child. In 2013, California passed a bill allowing children to have more than 2 parents in reaction to a case of one child with 2 mothers and a father. In other states such as Louisiana, Oregon, Washington, Massachusetts, and Alaska, courts have recognized third parent adoptions in individual cases.
Okay.
So there might be some precedent for this.
There might be. Yeah. Yeah.
But I still say, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's a bad idea.
No. So Alysia on the couch says she worries if now this is more legitimate. She worries that if something happens to her and Tyler, say they're driving to Whole Foods and whoop, they careen off the road.
Right.
Someone can come in, like her dad, for example, who hates Sean and Taya, and break the kids up.
Well, but what you could do is you can write in your will very clearly what happens to your children should something happen to you.
That's my next line.
Yeah.
We have a will.
There's a way to handle this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can will your children to people you are not related to.
Anybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Watch. Some lawyer's going to come for us and be like, no, you can't. But
you
my
can.
understanding is you can.
You absolutely can, because I've been in someone's will for their children.
There you go. Can I put in my will for my children?
Sure. Because I only have, no, actually they're over 18. So.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
you can.
You still have to support them.
Okay.
They're 18 on paper. You catch what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So later, Lex calls Taya and they get on FaceTime and Taya says, I love Lex. We both have 5 kids. We're both Pan. We're both Poly. And, you don't find many people who check all those boxes. So she's been a really good friend.
Yeah. Plus, Taya wants to bang the shit out of her.
But they live 12 hours away, so it's hard. And the first thing Taya says to Lex when they pick up the phone is, nice lashes.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to laugh because everybody's talking about the lashes on
the
all
lashes. Okay. There is clearly, and I know a lot of poly people. I have not seen this to be true, but there is definitely a subset of poly and a lash situation that is out of control. See, Danielle Davis. I'm only 24.
Yes.
Her lashes were insane.
Yes.
These people's lashes are insane. It's a problem. I don't know how their eyes are staying open.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So she says they have an instant connection, and Lex is a ball of sunshine and huge support. She's never dated her, but she wished she had.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time she met Lex, she was in this close quad nightmare. So there's no escaping it now.
This close quad nightmare.
So Tyler and Taya go on a date to the coast. It looks absolutely beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I need
Oregon coast is
there.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go to Lincoln City where they hide the baubles.
Yeah.
I've been obsessed with that place since I've been in high school. Like, I need to go there.
Okay, we can go.
So they're going to the coast. They're really flirting.
Oh, yeah. These two are so into each other.
His fingers are inside of her on the car ride there.
Maybe. The only reason they're not is because she's really kind of wigging out.
Yeah, right. Okay. His fingers are inside of her bra.
Yes.
Okay.
His fingers are somewhere. They're somewhere we should
not. We
not
don't have eyes on his fingers. So Taya on the couch says, Tyler, you are the most romantic person I've ever dated.
Aw.
Mm-hmm. Alicia's like, I know Taya deserves this, but I'm still jealous. I want the level of romance he gives Taya.
Yeah. That's where living with it would be so hard to see it constant.
Yes. I agree.
When it's not in your face 24/7, it gives you less to compare.
Yeah. I just wrote what's up?
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I just wrote the chemistry is off the charts here.
Mm-hmm.
So he's all horned up when they get to this place.
Yes.
And she's telling the camera, like, I'm still healing. I'm not into this. But she says she doesn't know how else to connect with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Depoe, Depoe, Bay, Oregon.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Depot
place.
Yep.
Yeah. Tyler is so tall, he has to duck through this entire house. It is like he is in Lord of the Rings. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He is like in Lord of the Rings, and he is visiting the Hobbit village.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's a very tall man.
To just kind of duck down.
And this is an old house, and so he's like...
He heads right to the bedroom.
Yes, he does.
This is like a Love After Lockup play here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they at least they didn't do it like in the woods.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we cut back and forth between Taya and Tyler and Sean and Alicia's hell with 5 children.
Mm-hmm.
So these two are like, laying on the bed, and Sean and Alicia are like, do you have a diaper over there? It's hell.
It's mayhem over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alysia suggests to Sean, maybe they should get a second opinion about the adoption stuff. And that can never hurt. Get a few, because we don't know if this legal blog I read has any merit, but it looks like there could be something. So go get a second opinion for somebody who deals with family law.
Agreed.
And Sean tells the camera, his kids mean everything to him. Okay, and he will never stop fighting for them.
Not a good look if you have other kids. Mm-mm.
Tyler, meanwhile, has thrown rose petals on the bed for Taya, and he says their relationship is intense and passionate. He blindfolds her. He got some body paint. She's like, I'm tired, and runs to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. And is crying.
Yeah, he's outside the door going, what's wrong? I love you. And he tells us on the camera, like, I don't know what I did wrong here.
Yeah.
She says she feels overwhelmed. So instead of fucking and body painting each other, they do Chubby Bunny.
Okay.
Remember they did this on Last Resort?
Yes.
It's when you shove marshmallows in your mouth. Never heard of this before. It's happened twice this spring to me.
I'd heard of it before.
She is glad that Tyler's given her grace here. And the next day she's like, well, we kind of fucked because there was no pressure.
Right. So, I think that was it for her. I think she was just feeling... She's in her new postpartum body. The hormones are still... It's the first time away from the baby. Like, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I can give her a lot of grace for that. And then as soon as she felt like I don't have to perform, she could calm down. Yeah. And then she was okay. So
Alysia, meanwhile, is getting ready for their arrival back home. And the minute Taya walks in the door, Alicia's like, here, take this kid. And Alysia tells the camera, like, I think I romanticized what it was like to have a little baby. I'm over this.
Yes. I'm glad this is the last infant we'll have.
Now, I'm going to say this is probably the biggest dickbag thing of this episode.
Okay.
Sean tells Taya,
oh, yeah,
baby Q's mad at you.
What the fuck?
And he's like trying to play it off as a joke, but it's so clearly not.
No, and
And
is
Alysia goes, "Don't
devastated.
say that to her."
Yeah. And she's really upset.
Tyler goes over to Alysia, kisses her, tells her he appreciates her. Then, very weirdly, Tyler starts telling the entire group about the
their
body
banging.
syrup that he was licking off of Taya. And Alicia's like, "I'm out of here. This bothers me." And Sean goes, "Doesn't bother me."
Well, good for you.
And Alicia's like, "I don't want to hear this." Then in a confessional, she says, "Why?" to Tyler, he's there with her. "Why would you think this is okay? I made it very clear that I don't want to hear about your sex life." And he says, "Well, I was saying intimacy. I wasn't saying sex." She's like, "Really?
Dude.
Really?
Don't be a fucking idiot."
Tyler says, "I can talk openly with Sean and Taya. I'm just not used to censoring myself." And she goes, "Well, now this is weird because the three of you are sitting around talking about this." She tells the camera the former issues she had with jealousy and stuff came flooding right back. And it seems like she's the only person in the room who had an issue with this. That's it.
Yeah, that's the whole episode. I feel for Alysia here. I think because I think there's a couple of things at play. I mean, there's so many ways to have a poly relationship. Parallel polyamory is absolutely an acceptable way of doing it, in which you just relationships exist in their own lane and we don't know anything about them and never the twain shall meet. It's fine. That they don't practice that very clearly. But Alysia has an absolute right to choose the boundaries around which
100%.
What she wants to know, what she doesn't want to know.
Yep.
And
you are still an autonomous person.
Yes.
Even though you're in a quad, you still are allowed to have your own personal boundaries, your own personal feelings about things. And totally normal.
I think the part that we're not saying out loud is she doesn't have that kind of connection with Sean that Taylor has with Taya. And she feels like she's missing out on something. I
agree 100%.
If she and Sean were super hot for each other the way Taylor and Taya were, I don't think it would bother. That's what I mean. Thank you. I don't think it would bother her as much. It may still be something she doesn't want to know about, and that's fair, but I don't think it would hurt as much if she felt the same way.
I agree 100%. If she had somebody who was real hot for her and she was wanting to bang them all the time, and but I just don't think Sean is that person.
No, for anybody.
Next time on.
Yeah.
Sean is doing some kind of sperm test to make sure his vasectomy took. This is weird to me. Like, Timmy had to do that, but it was within days of getting the vasectomy. Like, you don't do it a couple months later.
You're supposed to do it a couple months later, too.
Oh, maybe he did then.
He probably did.
Maybe. But did he have the vasectomy recently? Like, they didn't talk about that.
They had the vasectomy while she was pregnant. It could be relatively recent. It could be within a month or two.
I'm just wondering, like, what is he doing some kind of test to get the vasectomy reversed? Because we've talked about they're getting them reversed. So I didn't.
Well, they
wasn't
got them
sure
reversed.
What was going on?
They got them
right.
Yeah,
right.
They're done now.
Snip, snap, snap, snip. Do you have any idea the total 3 vasectomies takes?
Take on man.
So he says, "Well, here's the problem, though. Like, Taya and I had sex this morning, so you know." And Alysia overhears this, and she's like, "Sean is not fucking me.
Right.
We haven't had sex
in
like ever." And so what's going on here? I just wrote, Alicia's like, "Jesus Christ, doesn't anyone want to put it in my V?"
Right.
So Alysia now is talking about reaching out to her dad, and Tyler's like, And apparently the dad told them that Taya and Sean are not invited to any family events. And Taya says on the couch, "You will not disrespect us as parents." Sean says, he's such an idiot. I want to punch him right in the fucking face.
Take every allegation off the table. Assume none of them are true. I still don't like him.
Take every allegation off the table. The way he talked to Raina about being grounded, dead to me.
Exactly. That was when I decided I didn't like him and I didn't know a thing about him.
Yeah. So Sean says, if this conversation were about anyone but your dad, we would not be having this discussion.
Fuck off.
And Alicia's like, yeah, obviously. We're having it because he's my dad. And Sean goes, that means nothing, unfortunately.
Wow.
And she starts to cry. I'm like, this man needs to get out of my fucking screen.
I don't like him at all.
Off of?
Either
Whatever.
way.
Yeah. I need to be done with Sean. Sean needs to go away. Bless you.
Thank you. I'm having like a total sneezing fit over here. Thank you. Yeah, I don't like him.
I don't like him.
I like Alysia. Actually, I only really like Alysia and Tyler. I don't really care for Taya either. I think she's obnoxious.
I don't like Taya either because in my opinion, if you are defending someone who's engaging in bad behavior, you're just as bad.
Agreed. And if he has other children from a previous relationship, which all indications are, and she's letting this exist, why would you be with a man who wants nothing to do with his children?
Yeah. Because he's just going to do it to you when the next shiny thing comes along.
That's right.
Yeah. Amanda, that's it.
That's it. It's a short episode. There's not a lot happening here.
No, guys, let us know what you are thinking. Are you liking it? Are you not? I know there's a big chatter about this in the BDFs.
I know.
And I don't know. Some people like it, some people don't. But I showed you the ratings.
I know. They're plummeting.
Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, I hope people are enjoying our coverage, but okay. So Polyfamily. So do you have the episode dates that you could tell me when they aired?
I can, yes. The first episode was April 29th.
Okay, so that premiered to 414,000 people.
Okay.
Okay. Next episode.
May 6th.
401,000. So
May 13th.
375,000.
That's it.
So we see the way this is going.
It's not going good.
No. So there you go, guys. That's your Polyfamily for the week. And let me look at my calendar real quick, see what we've got going on. Gypsy Rose is coming out tomorrow. I mean,
that's all you need.
I mean, Gypsy Rose, sometimes we drop it the same day. So it might be in your feed today.
Who knows?
Depending on when we get done.
Yes.
And then Real Talk will be, we got to record that. Real Talk will be Friday. Real Housewives will be Thursday. So yeah, we got a lot going on.
We sure do. We sure do.
And then Love After Lockup on the weekend is the finale.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't watch last night's episode because we had the whole server debacle. So
correct.
Yeah,
and I do want to just remind everybody that your Gen X Corner, if you're on our paid tier, is that's our $12 tier, is going to air on the 29th. And Becca and I are going to do 90210 season 1 episodes 6 and 7.
Whoop whoop.
So you guys enjoyed it so much, we're doing it again.
Today is the 25th anniversary of the last episode of 90210.
Wow.
Alexa told us that this morning.
Okay, well, look at that.
Yep.
All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. Please join our Facebook group, Backdoor Friends. If you want to support the show, you could go to littlemissrecap.com/support. Amanda, tell everyone where they can find you.
I can be found at amandalipnack.com if you're interested in any coaching, as well as links to my coaching podcast, Amanda's Coaching Corner. And Amy puts all of the links in the show notes.
I do. And check out the new Murder Show podcast,
Yes.
Murder She Watched. Support us over there.
Please.
Okay. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Little Miss Recap. If you'd like to support the show, the best way you can do that is to join our Twin Flame universe, which is our Patreon, Supercast, and Apple subscription feeds. The links for those are in the show notes. You get ad-free episodes and a ton of bonus content. You can also subscribe to the feed so you don't miss an episode, share the show with a friend, and leave a 5-star review. To contact the show, please email me directly at amy@littlemissrecap.com or join our Facebook group, Backdoor Friends. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.